Yeah, on a question on a cover once more. My name is John Fuller. I'm the host for the Wεll Bɔdi Bεttεh past Gentri program when at the Salon organization of Greater Manchester and in the Brian Cantona. And today we're on with 26th session. As I know, we don't 1 year. And as a way for mark that 1 year day, we decide for give some gifts. I've been share a number the last time, and at the end as well, I will share them today. If you need gift from me, send you your number and your address, and we'll try for get them. Now we're not going to keep on address. We'll just get them and send you gift. We'll keep them. So if in the future you say, "Oh, when I get my address," no, we're not for keep them. We only use them for waiting, so they use them for which is for sending a gift. Okay. Like I said, the 26th session we do today, and today that postnatal depression how they do. A very, very interesting topic. And most of you don't want picking, even some of you will not want picking. This topic or this subject gets something for do with me. But I will left for now on a wait. Let Miss Gugia to Kamara when I represent her today. It will take on her to that subject today. But believe me, it's very, very interesting. That's something we like a miss really close to my heart. Because that's something I don't see people don't go through them. And wait, I don't hear you so far. Don't keep me more wet for waiting there ahead. Okay. So I'll just go through the team. Not only and Miss Ugia to normal day at the show. I'm gonna go other people them as well within the team. I'll go through that. Then we will start. Okay. Okay, like what I said, the Salon organization of Greater Manchester and they bring this show to we, and we all win at this show. Nobody really get paid, we only get support from anybody. Anything I see, if the organization I go support with financial stuff, or people them within the team, who are they within the team, now really deep into we own pocket for make this show go ahead. When they do this for let we get any praise or financial benefits, we do them because we want benefit with people them. We do them in Krio for let with people them know when and how, for go seek medical advice. And when they go seek medical advice, there's some of the time they can use it, then it can be difficult. But for talking in real language, it could be a lot more easier for people to understand. So there are family with the big. The advice what they give us on a generalized advice, not to personal one. If you want personal advice, go see your GP. If there's something where you think, say, maybe we can able help, send me an email. I will share the email at the end. If we're able, give you advice, we'll give. If we're not able, we'll still refer you to your GP or your physician. But we're not going to ask for replace from anybody in practitioner where you get. So there, the family them. Advice with the give. Okay. Right. So the first we're gonna the team, we get Dr. Mohamed Kamara, where most of us are be as Uncle Doc. Now the team leader, now the back for we all. Now emergency medicine consultants in Manchester, and a day within a lot of communities, and we don't do a lot of shows them even up to BBC, BBC, ITV and stuff like that. So most of them don't see them already. Okay, so but we proud say now we own Salon Border and a day we tweet our process and how they lead. Today didn't have so if I get any questions, it will be within the panel for answer. Okay. The next person we'll get now Miss Ugia to Kamara when I present to we today. Now a mental health nurse and also a health visitor. So you see, he did in the right position for deliver this session with deliver so today. Well qualified, get massive, a lot of experience. So yeah, I'm a family, I'm not taking them light with. This is what they do now. So people don't learn for years, don't get a lot of experience. We give them for free. We pray to God say, where would they give this solar benefit? People that would listen to one. Okay. The next person we'll get now, Mr. Abraham say we served at the panel today, and I qualified social worker and also a mental health advocate. I mean presents to we last week. So he said in our panel today. If I get any questions we feel say they will add value, you will add. Okay. Next person we'll get now Miss Fatima Koroma. Unfortunately, they will tweet today, but normally I can talk to her about with food, nutrition in specialized for Black people type of food. I can tell you how for it with food, how for prepare the food, what are the best way for, what are the best food for them for we go eat as Black man, we will benefit with. So normally I don't can talk about, but by God power, my understanding is it will begin joining with soon. Okay. The next person we'll get now Dr. Aziz Asise, when I general practitioner. I myself get your show when I talk to Dr. Asise, some of them I don't see already on Instagram and the other shows that we can do. It's a very, very knowledgeable. You get a lot of experience. If you get with me, I'm not sure if you could do it today, but if you can, I will make sure you Next person we'll get a immune boss, Dr. Mohamed Z today. When I say experience, a lot of it, bags of it. I don't see that man will not blow you into open. If somebody good at something, say, it in our presence today. If you get any questions at the end, we feel yes, you able to add value on, you go answer. But now a general practitioner, yeah, but believe me, not that no more, we get a lot more. You know, we're not in we're not in disclose. Okay. The next person who can normally get now Mrs. Isaac Abuba. Unfortunately, it not been confirmed say good day today, but if you join, I will make una know. Now a mental health nurse and also himself now a social worker. If you join, I will make una know. But if you join, you go there at the end as well. If not asking any question, we feel sick, you will add value. We will answer. Next person we can normally get now Mrs. Fatimata Tamara. I'm a mental health nurse, you know, confirm say good day with me today. But insert a part of the team. If you join me today, I will make sure see una know. Okay. The other person we'll get your mama, Auntie Aminata Jallo, now a clinical pharmacist. In your specialty, now for show how for take medicine, how for look after medicine, when and how for take them, you know, what are the best way for take medicine, for get the best out of them. Now in your specialty that day. And not being confirmed say good day today, but if you come join me at any point, I will make sure to run. Okay. And last but not the least, well, if you are asking at the list, that's all right, because maybe I may short pass the one. Anyway, my name is John Fuller. Me not a medical practitioner or consultant. Me a business IT consultant, IT misabi. New job now, so for make sure say yeah, but by that they don't land book. They get all this experience for make sure say they're able to deliver this program to owner in a way it will be seamless, so it be easier for them. And I mean, we can also make sure so don't have to enjoy the show. So I tell them plenty, thank you. I will hand over now to Miss Wugia to come out. As soon as I said before, now the email this way I share. I will share the number in a bit. I think the number and at some point on the show, I will share the number again. If I get any questions, suggestion, or feedback, please when I send out my email, or I will share the phone number and I send it to you on WhatsApp. Unfortunately, that number they are not the pick up phone call. So if you want, send them by text. There's a reason why I make I say by text, because that way there's proof of waiting the discussion will be. Rather than if I talk to you by phone call, I don't get proof of them in the end. Okay? Yeah, if I talk to you by phone, when I send them by WhatsApp, or when I send me an email, slogmhelp@gmail.com. Thank you very much. I can hand it over now to Ms. Wugiato. So, Wugi, when you're ready.
Yeah. Right, now you see the screen. If I want, I will just press the return button. Afternoon, good evening. First of all, very sorry for me technology. I don't plan myself thinking that when I welcome first of all, this panel today. Me a mental health nurse for a long time. Me a health visitor for about 5 years, 6 years now. And me a early attachment practitioner. That one they mean for say I joined the mental health and the health visitor together for like I work with Kumra them and the baby for join them together where things they well around attachment and bonding, where we all know for say Kumra and Pikin, therefore always stay together, therefore always agree, you know. So now that's my job presently. So today I can't talk to you now about postnatal depression. Very sorry, my mouth dry because I did fast and all this stuff. I can't talk to you now today about postnatal depression. The reason we make Sailor talk about this topic now because like na salon so it's very difficult for like we know waiting a postnatal depression. It's very difficult for we understand waiting to go on with Kumra, where then they feel some kind of way just after when they don't born them picking. And if you think about so we then I answer back now the same thing. It's very difficult for like we all not know waiting a postnatal depression, waiting it look like, waiting the happen, where person get the postnatal depression. Now salon, so you go say I get puelat or my heart's not sweet. So and then a depression generally. So when your heart's not sweet, they get picking back baby for that matter. It just they make the thing double. So today we can talk about postnatal depression, and it affects a lot of women them, especially women them like this part of the world, even any size of the world where they work or they go, you get for going to farm, you get for go doing your own thing. When you get where that woman they get postnatal depression, it affecting quality of life, it affects them how they interact with other people, how they talk to other people, them how other people they can talk to them, how it go engage or accept other people in their conversation. Then it affects the economy, how they're able to make money. So for example, if me get postnatal depression, that work will be the work today. It go take me a long time for like I go back to work, and that's down me for say my money go cut. Me go the workplace not go give me, not go pay me all the time the amount of money what be the get where then they pay me, or if I be go na farm or I be the sell all the thing and they stop. It mean for say I'm not going for do anything. I go get for then they begin engage. Also they pull money for look after me picking or me picking them. So na so postnatal depression can affect women them. So I go try for see if I go for pen research na especially na salon for see if we get any research we will tell we how people in the woman for that matter, how then they think about postnatal depression, or how they interpret when they feel them kind of feeling, then how they interpret or waiting them think say wrong with them. Sorry, it's very, very difficult for get information or research. And I think say now we fall down on in Africa and so maybe some other parts of the world where we know they do research about things that way they happen to people them, where we don't, we they say now do the posting or something. But if we get research, we would find out for say, oh, maybe 10 people in the 5 years ago, this has happened to them, but we're not getting research then. But as we go along, I suppose we will talk about, let we say, think right inside at the back of our brain, a long time ago, we come Africa. Now we think about how some women, when they don't born them picking them, how they can behave. So then they go bring you back for now begin member say, oh, okay, now I remember one person at this now so if they behave we don't born in picking, or we not born for look after in picking, or they cry all the time, or you know they in picking. So now we just get that, that thinking then we head. And postnatal depression is very, very common, especially among women the way where they born picking. So maybe from age 18 to 40, 45, it happen to anybody. The lawyer, or the doctor, or the poor person, or the young picking 18-year-old or 17-year-old, it can happen to any woman. And I just want to say back again, I don't know if you know about that, for say postnatal depression, it affects man them as well. Now, that way where they affect man, now more about the man they think say, oh my God, I don't can get picking. I go able for look after that picking day. Sometimes not be ready for picking. Sometimes I not get myself never for look after myself. I can't get picking. Obviously, sometimes the man self will take a bit of responsibility for say if you not want picking, and know what you for do. You know, but on the other hand, if two people don't decide for saying that they born picking, or the woman can't tell you say you get belly for you, then sometimes they can create a lot of problem for the man them as well. And postnatal depression now account for the most second sickness and mental health na the world. The reason being, actually up to by 2020, let me say, but the reason being, if you think about, if you get for look after the Comra, you get for look after the Pekin as well. The services that we do for the Comra, you get for get services there for the Pekin as well. So when you combine all the things, then you find out for say you spend more on postnatal depression than any other mental health problem, because every mental health problem now one person, but we come on postnatal depression are two people they deal with now. So now that make up, I think say we need for talk about this talk today. So today we can't talk about waiting a postnatal depression. Now America they call them postpartum depression. It's the same thing number, but the American first now they change, and also in many cases now postpartum depression and they call them other than postnatal depression. Now one side we'll talk about postnatal, but more than postpartum depression. Waiting the cause postnatal depression, which time it happen, who's kind of other sickness, other mental health problem than they where Kumra then just don't born picking or we then get belay, how we feel like forget postnatal depression, and if postnatal depression they affect the woman for the way they think about in picking or the feeling we get for in picking, then they're very, very important. Just like how they say, because the kind of job what they do now, early attachment service, now for bringing them two people and they back together, because once that Kumra they don't born, you're not able for bond with in picking, it creates a lot of problem for years to come. We can talk back about whether postnatal depression then the Kumra go try for harm in Pekin, because they hear a lot of them things then this on 10 days for say the Kumra try for do this or try for do that. So we try for see whether that just general thing or not just now one people and we go up go do that thing and then. Again, if we're able to treat postnatal depression, waiting at the treatment where they and waiting at the support where they for support them people there, so they're woman here, so and the family for that matter, not just the woman but the family and anybody else where they around that person. Then we can take questions and we can discuss as well afterwards. So when postnatal depression, as I've been said before, now just na depression where it affects woman them after when they don't born them picking. It affects 10 to 15 women them in every 100. So out of 100 women them, around 10 to 15 women them, they can get postnatal depression just after they don't born the picking up to 1 year, and it affect daddy them as well. Just like how they say, a lot of reasons then they will make it affect. We don't know for Africa. We don't know how people and how man will react where if they get postnatal depression, how they will react. But yeah, so for example, they tell the man will be in Australia, it come out. You know what you don't know again. You know what for Denia that Komra and the Pekin and the that Komra they say begin the panic now for say waiting no happy now wait making the Kenya mission. Then the man the first picking the car they say or certain they don't born but who picking them, then the woman can get belly back. So the woman just want for maybe you don't get 5 boy picking them, maybe you want 1 girl picking, or you don't get vice versa the other way, but the man maybe not wants, but the woman now in wants that picking day. I remember but say who side they pull money for look after them, I get all this responsibility, then another added responsibility they come. And sometimes as well, when we as health visitors, they work can go up, or people they can't visit the Komrana house, we know they talk to the daddy. We go just tell them, oh yeah, are you all right? And just forget about the Komra and the baby. Oh, lovely, look at the picking fine. We know they think about waiting the daddy himself, they think. You know, then go to hospital at the same thing. So then they go ignore the daddy, then talk directly to the mommy, even though the daddy did the end, enough for be so. Now both the daddy and the mommy for talk to, for put that person, that man there inside that circle there, because now mama and papa make the picking for like that picking they around. So the daddy self, it get right for like waiting they go on, waiting they happen, and the support self where he need. If he needs support, for like himself will get that support thing. Symptoms of postnatal depression, it just like general depression, where it include low mood and other symptoms, them will go last up to 2 weeks. Anything where they go over 2 weeks, now they the problem they begin. But up to 2 weeks, you can call them the baby blues. Most women then they get them as soon as when you don't born, you feel like just for cry, you worry, you say, oh my God, this time now, so now I can't get responsibility for me and other person. For the rest of my life, I got to look after this person. So you just feel this kind one feeling where you afraid, you worry, you say, oh my God, I'm able to look after this Pekin. Then all of a sudden you grab and go do things them for the Pekin. So you forget about it. But if you see it past 2 weeks, you still they carry on, you're not able to do nothing, you cry or you vex and everything, then something a postnatal depression the person don't get. And when you get postnatal depression, especially the severe one, it can mean for say you go struggle for look after your Pekin and for look after yourself. And then they're very, very important. Imagine no more that Pekin depend on you. The Pekin in Bele is small like marble, right? So imagine that Pekin there. Imagine that Pekin there one for feed, one for eat. Then you know for look after yourself. How you go feed that Pekin there? How you go know for say that Pekin there angry? The Pekin they cry. Bitter one, you remember for say you the one that way to make the Pekin they cry, where you just don't feed the Pekin. But if you think about that Pekin, the way don't you don't go na toilet, that's it, the belly don't empty back, you get for feed them. So imagine you know for look after yourself, you not able to look after the Pekin either. And the simple things the way for be the do way you be the do together, the way you grab and just go about your business, you know they for do them at all. That is where this postnatal depression really, really severe. And waiting to cause depression and postnatal depression. No one single thing, no, they will go say that this reason make person go get woman go get postnatal depression. Different things they can add up. Where the stresses, especially stresses, if you get 1 or 2 different stresses, then they all can build up. Where go cause for like you get the postnatal depression. Then if we go back in a salon, imagine all majority of Ukumra them, the majority of with family them poor, right? Then get them stressors then they for money for parents, for buy food, for buy clothes, for buy food for the Pekin, for buy food for themselves, and everything else where they go on. So if you add all the stressors then if the person gets mental health problem back in the past, then the especially depression, that one all they create for like the person in depression go worse for like going for look after in Pekin. And if the person get depression or anxiety during pregnancy, now so a very not simple, but easy for say if you get belle, you go, the first one they go ask you, part of the question they go ask you, you GPO, you midwife go ask you if you don't get mental health problem in the past. If you say you've been getting mental health problem, or you get belle, you get mental health problem, then they send you to specialist service straight away for let them keep an eye on you, because then they think say by the time when you born you pikin, or after we don't born that pikin day, you might get postnatal depression depending on what else they go on around you. Some people then they get out of it, other people then they forget out of it. If you not get support from your partner, your husband, your family, or you party them, then now they back it cause a lot of problem, a lot of stress on top of everything else. They get go back na salon. A lot of we fumble them, a lot of people them, we comrade them, that then they go through every day. We don't know how they survive, where we then sort of they not get that support, they not get that treatment there for help them, for let them get out of that situation day. And sometimes again, if somebody die near you, when a close relative, or you party, or you relationship don't say you get belle, you don't look forward for say this man, then all of a sudden the man, the relationship done, or you lost your job, or you get a traumatic birth, and that traumatic birthday, some people them if they get cesarean section, where they not be expect for say they will get cesarean section, they don't plan themselves, they don't buy everything that they look forward for born them picking, then all of a sudden they go tell them for say, oh, you get complication. Then they not shock for that person day, you know. So for let them go tell them for say now you get forget quick cesarean section, because even for that you life day at risk, you begin life day at risk. That one they create a lot of sadness for that comrade. And the other thing as well, after cesarean section, sometimes they're not give you the picking straight away. They go take the picking first, for go check all the things once they deal with you. That minute they cut that relationship between you and your picking, because in many cases, as soon as you don't born, they go put your picking at your chest for like you, like 2 minutes, like you say hello to your picking. But that time though, then they take away from that picking, or sometimes the picking gets issues them just after we don't born, or they turn a premature baby, you know. Imagine no more for let them take that picking, then take them away from you. You don't look forward for say you are picking the meet up, then for meet up, say maybe a week later, 2 weeks later, then they create a lot of problem. And if the pikin gets physical health problem when you don't born, or you get maybe they tell you say the pikin get Down syndrome, or the pikin gets autism and all that stuff, they create a lot of problem. And if in a first time mama, now wait make I put that one there now, because we get some some professionals then at this part of the world where they don't use for boss or for being manager to maybe 100 people, 200 people, 300 people them. You know, he then control all the time. Then all of a sudden, he can born this small person can begin to control them. That commander they know what for do. Because they begin to cry, they do this. If na office, he gets answers them for everything. But he get this mortal man in front of him where he not get answer for that pikin day. So that's they all can create for like the mommy get postnatal depression. And if you don't experience domestic abuse as well, that's where mama they beat papa. Yeah, mama they beat papa, papa they beat mama all the time. That one they back can create, because you remember for sure. He remember for say, well, I don't come born so back. Sometimes now through the first pick you were born, the man been the beat me, then I don't come back, I don't come born back, the man they beat me. So that all that engats day, it create for like the person with all the other stressors them, not so all the stressors them, but if he gets 1 or 2 more, then it creates a lot of problem for them. Then the one team back, we all the kind of this part of the world thinking that we come for campaign we better. Then when we can get belle, or we can meet somebody, we say they born picking, you know, we don't understand the system, we don't know what's in the happen, we don't know what's in the go on, we don't know we know you look the difference between how you come out, your culture and this culture now, so it's completely different. In that, you the luck you don't matter. As soon as you don't come out, you get belle, you don't born, you the luck you don't matter. People in the campaign, hey, how the time, all man can happy with you. As soon as all man don't go, now you end up picking and two left now host. Imagine no more how that one they feel. Where if na Africa you been there, now you born that picking, but not you want get the men. You come out hospital as you come out so no more. All man they for look after the picking for you. Even a 10-year-old go able for pick that picking up for support you. They can't find this now, so the place lock. You know the system. You know get money. You know get nobody for call. Mama no day, papa no day. That one they all, especially refugee and asylum seeker, because at the end of the day back, they wait for like a year from home office whether it will get in paper or not. So all that one they end the poverty. Now them poor, because the hand to much than they. So then a voucher then they give them not get even money for say them get physical physical cash for go buy anything. So imagine life for you not come up and now you come meet now. Yeah. You don't know how to talk to the Peking they cry now and all the time, you don't know what to do with them. So we send postnatal depression they happen. The time varies, you know, sometimes it can begin 1 month or 2 months after you don't born Peking, or sometimes several months after you don't born the Peking. Now, this waiting can happen, and again, 1 in 3 parents them will go experience postnatal depression. It will begin during pregnancy, it continue after when the Peking don't born. Now, waiting, the one thing I want for advice no more is like we know for say we sabi we self, we friends and sabi we the partner sabi you. If things begin change by you, you begin notice things that they change by you. If they try for stop you for say, waiting they go on, especially if 1 minute tomorrow you they cry, 1 minute you they vex, the other time you know how to take the Peking at this part of the world, even in Africa, you know, probably in a postnatal depression, 90 camper you don't know. But if people that they try for point things out to you, then probably it's good for like you listen to that person there or them people then they, because now waiting and they stand from the outside looking in, then they see exactly the changes that they don't they you. When also you've been tanked today, as you don't want picking now, things that don't change for maybe especially in the negative way. Then inside depression, other mental health problem, then they back way after we don't born picking. Obviously, depression and anxiety are the most common mental health problem them during pregnancy and even after birth. Then so it affects 10 to 15 women them in every 100 women. Again, if you get depression during pregnancy, then can still help you, just like how they go help you inside like postnatal depression. Now, other mental health problem they whether the worst kind of mental health problem for all the mental health problem where women go experience puerperal psychosis. If we all know waiting a psychosis now proper mental breakdown where if that comrade they experience that kind breakdown they it cause them maybe for let them get for admit them, and that one day they happen just after we don't born the Peking, right? You born the Peking 1 minute and you say you don't want the Peking, you don't want for see him, you don't want for touch him, something. Sometimes they feel like for say now spirit just can't say you or spirit come up at you, you don't want that Peking. Then you begin suspicious of everybody. If you say the Peking are devil, the Peking they try to affect you, you know, you they feel for say you they die just now, and all kinds of things just they kind of you aid. So that one day, if any comrade they experience that one day, in many cases, I don't work in a mental health ward. I don't get patients the way you get belay, where them really mentally poorly. Then go admit another ward. As soon as the baby they born, when the comrade they born, then they admit another mother and baby units where we get this part of the world. Africa now not get all the things then they. But yeah, so we get mother and baby units where they go admit the Peking and the comrade. Say so that they never cut that bond between the comrade and the Peking. Then go they say the menam, then it will go na host. But that they not mean for saying at the end of it, it get for go na host, then other people they back for come for can support them. Then we get perinatal obsessive compulsive disorder. That one then away the comrade they think for say you know the Peking jams there around. I need for clean. You go grab no more every day get for clean. You know they put in Peking start inside. You know go make let them anybody go make food for her. You know go really nobody help them for touch the Peking or for feed the Peking, because if you for say the Peking get the people and get jams. So now again just after what the comrade don't born, now you can get the experience then day. Then if you get previous mental health problem, like today you get mental health problem, maybe in many cases, so you go get mental health problem just after we don't born. Again, as soon as you tell you doctor or you GP, the midwife, the health visitor, then they put things in place for you as much as possible, so that as when you born, we ask questions, then we get questions the way they ask, we get forms the way they feel after 2 weeks or 1 month for find out how you they feel. But again, as an experienced practitioner, when you go inside an person in house, you did assess. As soon as you enter, so you look the person, the home environment, you look the person in face, you look the way the person they talk to you, you look the person in body language, you look the way the person they all in Peking, the way they talk about in Peking. If you know they talk about in Peking, fine, or they jump the Peking all the time, then you as a experienced practitioner, 1 or 2 questions then will help you for say something is not right here. That comrade go begin for deny. Oh, I'm fine, I'm all right, everything okay. But you know for say something not all right. Now they begin for do the support for that comrade. because the more the Komrano gets that support day, the more the things that will get worse for the Pekin, and it go take before you go aim for go back to being that Komra way be they look forward for saying I say one for B. So why I feel like for get postnatal depression, some people that will get all or not or some of them symptoms here. You feel depressed, you feel low, unhappy, and you cry all the time. And you feel worse at certain times. So sometimes again with people of depression, when don't clean, then they feel really, really, really bad. They're not one for grab na bed step because they think say, but they can't face the wall back. For them, the wall not just one big black hole. Then imagine you get that kind of thinking there, that you get picking for look after. It's really, really scary. Sometimes not even time that you will get that kind of feeling then day because in many cases we notice for say picking and in the evening and they cry a lot. I think that because all day they don't day. Then when even tell they kind of don't tire, then but they're not able to relax. They don't know how to relax because they learn. So that learning though, then they learn, it cause them for like them. Then they cry, then they come right not able for settle. And they become very irritable. So now this are the try for say you get very angry with the people them, so tell your partner, even the Pekin. You say the Pekin they ambog you, the Pekin they cause for like you they feel this way, and if other people that are around you, they try for take you anger out of the people, and then I make they say if anybody notice for say this person has to not begin change, just after we don't born in Pekin, then there's an issue. So now for support that person as much as possible, and the comrades self if stop back, listen to what they tell them, because in many cases it just not want for give, just want for understand, for accept, for say something wrong with them. And the more you go say you not want for accept, now the more you get issues. Sometimes the person the comrade will tire, and you obviously when you depressed, you become very, very tired and lethargic. Sometimes again in Africa, you remember for say the person will say, hey, tell them beat me, tell them say something kind inside me, tell them say na this, oh I dream this, I dream that, na tiredness. And if you know they sleep back and tap the bargain, na problem. Some comrade and they especially back again at this part of the world, the comrade and they sleep. Then they afraid that if not them two no more in Pekin and daddy na host or in and the Pekin no more, he said the Pekin they breathe, the Pekin they sleep, the Pekin no they move. All them things then they cause the comrade not sleep. And the more you not sleep, now the more you tire. When you clean out, you want for sleep, they sleep because the Pekin self they wake. And you not go sleep when the Pekin they sleep. That half sleep when the Pekin they sleep, they self take a nap, you not go take a nap. And now they cause a lot of problem. And sometimes some people and they lost their appetite. I don't go to some comrade the way they talk with say I don't feel for it at all. I'm not angry because they feel so anxious and feel so poorly. They say they're not angry. Or other people and then the opposite side, they go eat boku, then they feel bad for where they eat so much, So you go either one extreme or the other. And they know why. Now just again a part of depression. So if you get that issue, then you get picking, na problem. They're able to enjoy things them. Like we all, before you born in Pekin, you don't look forward, you don't pack the Pekin and things that you don't do this, you don't do that. Then all of a sudden you can't born this Pekin, I remember for say, but people they say, oh, you born in Pekin, so you feel this one kind way that you can't born in Pekin, you don't feel that kind of way. In many cases, sometimes because of the experience you don't get, the trauma where you don't get during birth or other things the way they happen, or maybe sometimes out of nothing no more, you don't just feel now way. So it's very, very difficult for that comrade. How we go able to come back for like enjoy things the way they enjoy today, it need a lot of treatment. And some people in back, then they lost interest in sex, mama and papa business. And sometimes if you think about the pain what the comrade don't go through, the woman don't go through, maybe it gets cesarean section, maybe it get cut down below and all that stuff. And sometimes they just not want because it's tired. Nainga for look after that Pekin in many cases, 90% Nainga for look after the Pekin. And you not get no feeling. You remember for say your body, sometimes you feel for say you don't born, your body all don't slack and all that stuff. And they say man not go let you, but the man now sometimes they not understand. A lot of communication nainga for day between the man and the woman. And the man not feel for say the woman reject him. It's just that how things they go through small with a lot of patience and communication, they can able for deal with things them. And sometimes the woman can get negative feelings. If they change depression, they change the way they think. So imagine you get Pekin. You remember for say where this Pekin has so sometimes the Pekin not like me, I make it cry. Sometimes the Pekin not like me, I make it for that person can't take him. If they set him out, but way it can't to me, they set him out. They feel guilty back for the way they feel. Sometimes they get thinking that say enough, you confidence all the loss, and you remember for say something you not go for cope with, for look after picking again. What I try for say is this part of the wall, because now we no more defend we serve. You not just Black people them, white people them as well. We defend we serve in a situation where certain me and the picking no more within a host, or mama and papa no more in the picking within a host. If the two people don't understand what thing they go on, it cause a lot of problem for the comrade and the picking. Sometimes some people, some comrades, they become very, very anxious about their picking health. Just like I've been said before, the anxiety they cause you for like it become very, very overwhelming. Say the afraid to say the picking not well, or the picking they gain weight, even though you feed them, you wearing clothes, they see the small forearm, but because the head so full, they think straight at all. Again, that OCD business for say the place not clean, you picking not safe, you afraid for say if you come on a door, and we all get them feeling. Then they, even me as a comrade, we all get them thinking, and they say, what will happen to me? What if something happened to me? So imagine you get that kind of feeling, they 10 times more than just that normal feeling. They, if the picking they cry too much, not able for settle them. So this especially this one, if that picking they cry too much, what the advice is, as long as you put the picking at the push chair, you make them safe, left the picking, go, if not the kitchen, go there for 10 minutes. The picking will cry. When you don't take a deep breath, when you don't calm down, you can come back, you can pick your picking up. If not during the day, if the place not cold, wrap them up or dress them up, una come out, una go work. And say you just want a change of scenery, so say you just want for your rim to carry them around, you just want you want for your buzz around, a lot of picking them. As soon as you pull and I don't know more, they don't stop for cry. But if you head full, you get all them feeling and they so they even think self for say, the simplest thing I've been doing is I forget that picking they go until somebody can say, hey, Kalaka help you. If you not get person again, you then inside that host day, it's very, very difficult for you in that picking day. If the picking if the picking too quiet again, or you're afraid say sometimes the picking they breathe something wrong, so not just one thing after the other, not to all man go get them kind of feeling then they, but some people then they, if they get them feeling then they, other people then go feel for say, they certain them go hurt the picking. And that one day back, sometimes because you're anxious, you don't begin vex, you remember for say, oh my God, this picking has if I take them, sometimes I go drop them, or you just get them feeling then you had no more for say, I can't hold this picking because I I sleep awake, I begin saying that this and this and this is difficult. So, you're afraid for all the picking, that this self sometimes they themselves can afraid for all the picking because they feel for say, because they're big, they're strong, the baby is sprightly, but them picking them very, very strong. So if you change in a you well close parent, for well close parents, straight away, like you cry, just carry on well close, because the longer you left her, the more you're not able to do it for them. Now, so they anxious, they become anxious again because they begin to cry, you don't know what thing for do. And if you self poorly, down the back, they create a lot of problem, or if you begin get physical health problem, or you get neurological problem, as I say, any of the Down syndrome, because I'm not the first one they can diagnose, or any other health issues the way they go diagnose. And sometimes they remember for say, go ever get better anymore. And if they feel worried for say, if you go tell the doctor for say, now this year so wrong with you, they afraid for say something they go take you picking at you and so then they very, very sort of advisable for say, if you begin feel like that, and for talk to somebody. If you not talk to your GP, talk to your health visitor, talk to the midwife, talk to your partner, talk to your party them, because if you not talk, then anything happen, it go down now like slippery slope, and it just go down no more now, and it's difficult for like you come back, and it will take a long time before things then will be okay. Sometimes they avoid people them. I will tell you for say they can't find you. You say, okay, Rugi, yes, come. Well, not like much they open, or the children center staff say, yes, you can we get activities them. You say, okay, then when the time come, you just get this fear that you might know more for like able for come out, for talk to person, and because of COVID back, imagine now how all these issues and they plus COVID, how it affects a lot of comrades at this very particular time. So, and sometimes back they feel hopeless, and you say they ever get better. People your life not worth living. So now then people then begin think about suicide, for self-harm and suicide, and not so very, very rare for like the comrade harm in Pekin. Very, very rare. Yes, we get then case and then at this part of the world where the comrade, because you don't get so much depression, it take in Pekin, it go kill kill the all two, kill themselves, he kill the pikin, kill himself, but then case and they then very, very rare. So waiting me they say no more. In many cases, if then things and they happen, where I think 19 at the next slide, if then things and they happen, if the pikin they cry, say the pikin they cry, before you do anything, because sometimes some people they shake the pikin, then go hold the pikin and shake and say, shut up, for like the pikin set him out, and the pikin don't know, and the only way the pikin go know what he need, and for like he cry, or for like let the kumra know what he need, and for like the pikin cry. So if the pikin not cry, you not gonna know what happen. So if you get them kind of thinking, then they self-harm or suicide, now for talk to the to somebody, because again, just like I've been saying, the psychotic symptoms, and a small number of people, and they go get the psychotic symptoms, and then they hear a voice, or they go feel for say people, and they out forget them, or the television they talk about them, and go tell them saying about mama and all that stuff. Then it can affect you, how you feel about your baby. You feel guilty that you know feel the way you expect. Just like I don't say maybe you feel for say like your pikin, or go get close to your pikin. And you find them very difficult for find out what's wrong with the pikin. Now that's at the top, where the pikin they cry, or if you go to other person, or you try for laying down, they cling it by you. Again, now if you hateful, they even understand what they go on. You feel for no more the pikin, just they try for cause you a lot of problem. You go resent the pikin maybe for saying I blame them for like the way they feel. You feel for say you miss out on motherhood, where I don't talk about already. Again, as I say, very, very rare for like kumra go harm in pikin. But even if then they do, sometimes some people the way they shake them pikin, and they not get mental health problem, then just be overwhelmed for say they don't know what for do. So the other way they shake that baby, them pikin, and sometimes they don't know what for do. Then the one thing they go do and for shake the pikin, and that pikin in brain is very, 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 very young, is very soft. And I don't know if una notice for say if you lay you pikin in back, you lay on sonoma all the time, it get flat head. If you lay on sonoma all the time, it get flat. In this side of the head is the flat. This if you lay on this side back, now the same thing. So imagine that baby the way in brain like jelly that you shake them, it get brain damage or it die. Again, the one thing when the problem in that stigma where the kumra they feel for say if I tell anybody, then go feel for say I don't crease. So the first way for recognizing postnatal depression, the first way for recognize is for say you get a depressive illness, and not for dismiss them at all for saying that the baby blues. Just like they say the baby blues up to 2 weeks. If everything come to normal after that, then at least you don't get over it. But if you see it carry on more, then for say something wrong. If the reason why people can delay for go to doctor, for go tell them for say they get an issue, then they realize what's wrong, or then they worry with other people and they talk about stigma, which is understandable. Not just the black man, the white man, the Asian, the Pakistani, we all, you work with people that you find out for say most people are not one for let them know for say they get mental health problem. But when it comes from postnatal depression, they hide. The more you left on, the more it manifesting self, say where the term reach now, where they say what I don't pass Gary, it's very, very difficult. If you get for let them admit, then get for admit that kumradi. And it creates that separation between in and in Pekin, and it take a long time for let them come back together. You feel ashamed for admit for saying they enjoy for be kumra. And so now for now, what they try for saying now is that postnatal depression not for the miss and now. We as health professionals them and other professionals them not for the miss and now, because we talk about depression so much. So now for seek help from the GP, the health visitor. Because the more you the quicker the kumra seek help. But then they all, if you think about kumra, we don't know what they go on, we don't understand what they go on. I go seek help. So now make we the professionals them, we the charity organizations them. Now if we go for go visit them kumra then they we try for pick up a lot of things. There's something now constant talking about that kumra they talk. Thing we don't pass, they talk them again and again and again. Say something is not right here. So now for support them as much as possible. So it's very, very important for like the kumra gets treatment. So kumra them then they get better within 3 to 6 months. And I think say now they maybe now the African side, maybe now they for say if they feel all them feeling the way they get, because you get so many people them around them. As we all know, not one person now one host then they win one person or two people in the sleep and now host. We all in a compound, maybe compound them where 10, 15, 20 people a day, right? So when you grab the money, even if you know for look that pikin, as you grab, so you pull that pikin in a door. People, the person, somebody will can take that pikin in a yarn. Other person go wash them, then they go feed them, then they go play with them. You know, then I yaso. So now that one day, na the most difficult thing I yaso where then at this part of the world where they encounter, especially because sometimes some people can go take over 1 year, you still they feel depressed. You know, so it means for say it show for say the Komrao and the Pikino, they all two they suffer together, and it can spell the Komrao in experience. It is strain the relationship between he and the Pikin and partner. And not go look after himself, and not go for look after the Pikin. And that Pikin again, as I said, the Pikin in development, it all depend on that Komrade in mental health. So now we could get service system where we'll talk about all depend on the Komrade in mental health, because if we not look after that Komrade mental health, it affect the Pikin in emotional development, in behavior as they go up. So the quicker we deal with postnatal depression for the Komra, the better, so that the Pikin self, he and the mama, then go get the relationship going. So what's not the treatment they were available? As we all know, Dr. Kamara, everybody we don't come at this program, we don't give a talk, don't talk about especially when it comes to mental health, CBT, then talking therapies them. You know, as soon as the comrade they become poorly, maybe now for put an then therapy they need quick, so that at least they're able to talk about what they go on. So they not need medication, but then other times if they're not able for get over any of the issues the way they get pass and get for give them medication. And the other thing, like this part of the world, they get then services there, so then talking therapy also, where in as much as the government, the NHS and other parts of other services them, then they want for like people then access then services there also. Sometimes they're not available, or then they they foresee that Komrade within 1 month, when at that time they are very, very crucial. So now make sometimes then they go down with medication, and sometimes the medication and the therapy they also they work together, because if you get somebody where they talk to you whilst they take the medication, you mood they lift up, then the person they give you good word, that one they lift you mood up. So go make you pick una that bonding we una need una go get some. So then the other treatments, the way again we all don't talk even if Fatima not deny so, but we talk about healthy eating, they talk about health help, like for talk to your family, then talk to your party them, you know, for tell them how they feel so that they will help you. If you don't want for talk to your party them, call the official services that were available. Talk to the nine confidential. Anything I talk to that person, they not ever get for go talk to other person, but they take the afraid for say if I tell me party, you go talk to other person. So as I put the phone down, no more, they call other person, you know. Try for make time for yourself, for like you enjoy things, but then it depends on how you feel. It depends on which parts of the depression or the postnatal depression. It depends which side you get as much sleep as you can. Now net again, you need for like you get somebody to reassure you where they sort of put your mind at ease. Exercise. Then they don't talk nearly no session. No, they talk about exercise, sleep, and for accept help from other people. Then at the UK, we get boku service system. Like for Yaso, we get perinatal, depending on what's wrong with the Pikin. The health visitor day, the midwife day, the GP day, they will get perinatal. So which means the mental health nurse, they deal with the Komra. Then like we own service, so the early attachment service, we go deal with the Pikin, so that as the Pikin, the Komra, they get better, he and the Pikin, they bring them back, come back together. Other parts of the world, none of their services, and they're not understand what's postnatal depression, now they will go set up service. So the only thing we'll go do no more now for talk to people them, for encourage them, for help them as much as possible. That one society within Africa, sometimes it's positive, it's better for we than for Denaya, and they go through a lot of the issues the way people are postnatal depression and they go through. And I left the floor open now. Thank you for listening. And I know say Mr. Sise, hopefully or anybody can put anything where they get for add to this, let they add to them. But thank you very much. Hello.
Adea.
Yeah.
I'm ready to for sort out this stuff. Okay. Thank you very much, Isirugi. The family, as soon as I've been promising I say it will be a very good session, very educative. And also we for even give Miss Kamara a big round of applause and a big thank you. As soon as I know the month of Ramadan this. So a deeper and fast, they don't talk to me for 1 hour. So thank you very much.
Boy.
That's up to for 1 hour. So now if I'm going we can open the floor basically for let everybody, could anybody will get questions for them to ask. Before I say somebody else don't text me already with question. Now me know because of I don't listen to this before, I get an idea, but like I say, me know to a medical professional, so me know provide a person with an advice. He say how long postnatal depression will last for?
Well, it depends on again the slide one, but the slide say it depends on how. So if we don't get postnatal depression, sometimes they go last more than a year, right? Sometimes some people in 3 to 6 months, so then up to a year. But if you see it continue, then it mean for say, you know, we go continue for a while. Now make the doctor then day for go see the doctor them for like work on something. Now the service that is part of the world, the services that they, as I said, that perinatal mental health, community mental health, they support you up to where you pick in 1 year. If the mental health, the postnatal depression still there, then go transfer you over to community mental health. But in many cases, then we expect for say between that 10 day we just unborn to 1 year, the postnatal depression for don't better.
Okay. If I'm going to also get Mrs. Isata Goba as well. He did at the panel now. I don't know if he did in a position for talk, but if he did in a position for talk, he will make a note and ask any questions and he will try for chipping.
Let's just say something.
Yeah.
Let's just say something.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, in many and some people them back, they can get postnatal depression. Like we not expect for say, for example, I get meet one kumara, you not expect for say you go born again, you don't born on picking them. Then when born in picking, 6 years later, it's still not all right again because she was never expecting to have another baby. Then all of a sudden, so then they can go last, it can last a long time. Now, I think the most important thing is if they catch them early. Some people then go get postnatal depression for years and years and years. Nobody not go know for saying. Sometimes the way they interact with the pikin in Africa back now the same thing. How they go interact with the pikin, how they go hate that pikin they no more. Sometimes they no go want that pikin near them, even out as the pikin they big. So I suppose now we go on if they not treat them quick, it go last a lot longer.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Kamara. To the other doctors then on the panel as well. I want to ask a question. When it comes to postnatal depression, okay, we will say now after the person unborn the pikin, now normal identity happen. What about if you get a scenario where the person been get some other underlying mental health issues as well, for say, for example, things for do with maybe bereavement, for example, or maybe, something that some people in the way, some of we eyes to do, so some, like me eyes me own nose big, so I accept them, I mean, no standing. But some man they go look, so you look the way I look, he say, all look that way. Now all of a sudden, picking can born. First of all, if you don't get that issue already, but doctor, be ever, approach doctor or whatever, say maybe, look left the way I look, not feel comfortable in your body, not feel comfortable in your skin, for whatever reason. Then you got born picking. This feeling increase. So now you're able to differentiate now in that sense for say, okay, this is not postnatal depression, or this is more than that. How?
Well, that make us say if we don't get mental health issue already, then you can't born picking, so they can just double the situation. So until we be able to cope with today, this picking, we don't know if now hormones, we don't know if now just the situation, and it can just double the problem double now because you don't cope with that problem. Then you don't can born picking, then that picking day sometimes you find it difficult for look after them, you find it difficult, you want to you then host, so it's just not double. Now make we say if you don't get mental health problem already, it a double yes.
Now, for example, the way back home, now one subject this way I really look forward to. Because most of the time we can do this show, most people can say, una better, una de under, una exposed to this, or exposed to that. But this is one area where una already back home, the coin don't flip. You know, una own situation can be a lot more better because when you born picking back home, then we get our community saying, now one person they born picking, but not one person they men, but the one community and the men are picking. Normally we born picking back home. Even a net on a net, so then they get people who they offer, say, no, let's take the picking, let me sleep with her, you go sleep. Or be you that rest. While we na like me sister T, I go fair now. I shake the picking, play with I get money. But we see if it take out. I go down me house. So what I want to say is for the question I want to ask now is here, for example, we get support mechanisms in place. Okay. But sometimes some other support mechanisms here, say for example, social, what do they call them, health visitors. Now one, we can normally come around for provider support for the mama. Now, if you read on a paper, that's what you see, we provide support for the mama, we provide support for the family. However, you mentioned something where I don't encounter them personally, and I don't see them happen to other people. Where in this support mechanism, sometimes they can be a hindrance. Where in the health visitor they visit, and they put that family, most of the time a young family, they not get experience. They put them under so much pressure that somebody they can visit, then go, once it's squeaky clean, then go make the house that clean. That, you know, one room go there at the house where all things they go back. I don't see in movies, I don't see in real life where people they go back to the one house, go back inside one room. You know, just because of that health visitor they come. Now, then they alone, they cause you anxiety, and then they say, and also say don't cause friction in a relationship, wherein the health visitor they come, the woman they tell the man, oh, you have helped me, Lord, Papa calling here. People like therefore understand, see, them people are a mortal man, then they live a normal life, and they don't get somebody, a new person they introduce in their family. Now, what kind of advice where you will be given that, you know, health visitor as well, given that postnatal depression day, you will get relationship issues already. Then you can't get health visits or you can't visit. What kind of advice will you give in that scenario?
Well, I think again, now the misconception where we all get about health visitors, about social workers, about all them people here. So I know that they in control, sort of. Okay. Now, me not go as a health visitor, I not go na you host. I expect for say you host for be squeaky clean, right? I they expect for say if you get picking them choice them for them na host. I go expect for say the place go scatter small. Whose side the problem there is if the place scatter per smack, because say if you want to put that picking for play, that picking say the picking on big small, that picking it danger because all the things and they are around them. You understand? Now for feel relaxed, it depends on the health visitor. Now I make like me so now because I come out Africa as well. What did I do? Where I go to somebody when I say come out Africa, I they break them down for you because I don't want for like reach children services or social services. So I will tell you exactly for say waiting there under and waiting there answer on a different team. So please do this and this and this and this where you waiting. So you make the comrade feel at ease first of all. In many cases, now the social worker they're more than the comrade and the afraid. Then they feel for say we as health visitors, then we they go spy for the social worker them, but not to spy with the spy. I go work with you, the comrade. Now only while I work with you, they listen to me. We don't put a plan, they listen to a plan day. Now that's if I think for say the picking they at risk. Only if I think for say the picking they at risk or you they at risk, now I will contact children services. But inside children services, then get early help. That early help day, it will come, it can work with you. We get home start. Home start go come can work with you for give you time for like you tidy up, for like you not come out, then you do your laundry. Where in there now you look after the picking. You understand? I like now 1 hour a week. So the services and the way they available, but not for the comrade, they're not afraid for say if they can and come in the place scatter small. And Mr. will reassure you for say, you know, no worry. If you get man, or you man can let the man tidy up. You don't do up all night or you don't do during the day, you look after the picking. So you get forget that comrade that reassurance day. So sometimes now misconception about waiting the happen, and because of the language barrier as well. So if you don't understand waiting, like the white health visitor, in because they speak English, they go on a full bow. You understand? And then they break down like me now because a black, I know for say if I go on a black host, they break down for that comrade. Let you understand what's that the thing. So it depends on who a health visitor and how they explain things then to you. I used to have to respond to that person there.
Now, a good way, a good way I put it so, because I don't see scenarios where health visitors don't use social services for treating people, and that they cause anxiety in a relationship. I don't say they don't pick partners, they don't break up. And we look at them, we were there close to them. We know say that they do their utmost best. But we picking on come, you get bills for pay. You know, you get the picking and thing there for bye and stuff. Now, yeah, Mr. Jonathan, I will come to you. Yeah, what you want to say, sir?
Oh no, now question I want for us. How
sure.
You think
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
For ask you know, in the African settings, the family make up a different a bit. Like if not Africa, if not Salo be there, the responsibility of the housekeeping, like the woman, they're more responsible. And like we will sister talk, then they can cause the depression, postnatal depression. In this environment, would they expect both parties, and because there is this family support, both the husband and the wife. But in most situations, we can find out say it can take the grace of God for let the man the law be transformed. You know, we can still get that kind of African attitude and make sure say one left everything give the woman. Sometimes they can cause so much problem, particularly when at the first child.
Yeah.
The woman said it in first speaking, they try for bring up first speaking. And sometimes they lost if not get Boku picking them also in the third or fourth picking, that complacency can they, you know, this they look to this they look to this. So we advise you go give we so that we go for minimize or even try for deal with that issue, let not go lead to postnatal.
Yeah. And if you think about it, if what two people and they work together, it's fine, not so. If they work, it make things that easy. I know for say we don't come in an African culture when the woman then especially when the man they go work, the woman definitely host, the man expect for say the host for clean, if the woman for don't cook, look after the picking or look after the picking them. But sometimes in a way, if we team up back, because then if the woman, if you cannot host, you vex all the time because you might not do this, you might not cook and all that stuff that day. In order make things easy for you or the woman self either. So sometimes now for sit down back and think about una all two now two no more than a year. No family no day we go say okay I can help you. I think now communication, a lot of communication, a lot of understanding. If you still not understand yourself, you the vex because you not the man, you the vex no more, or because this man. What I go do, like I give the role over. Me go work now, you work, that you should not host, you look after the picking, that you cook, you clean, you do everything. Then if you see for say easy, then you take that job, then me go continue with your work. But then we go swap back over. You understand? So it's a lot of communication, a lot of understanding, and a lot of love. When I get that picking in the middle, for the sake of that picking day, anything when they do, I want for do this, but because of this picking, I not go do them. I want for say this, but because you get forget to picking in mind all the time. Because they yeri, I like it small. If they go to the top, they feel una anxiety. So then they making them they become all anxious and cry and all that stuff. Then una no go for stop and for cry. Right? So now then they no more for say una communicate a lot, una love una each other a lot more. So that picking they say go know that love they say una go make life easy for una self.
You said something in that way, it make us smile. The reason being, something that we say, we 100% communication, and that picking for be more important between the couple than any feud or anything else we wanna get.
Indeed.
That picking for be very, very, if that picking important, they wanna able to communicate, they able to understand each other. You know, you find out say the problem is more than half solved.
Yeah.
However, the bit about say love will swap position. Yeah, I talk for, maybe people are going to look at it, I'll talk from a man's point of view. Okay. Waiting woman and they go through naturally, these are things that not all we man them decide on that.
No.
That's something we naturally, now so God we don't make we see woman there for born picking. They cannot lie, but woman they watch this or go for watch this later, then go say at some point we all don't think most of we don't do. Maybe in a minute they come out and say sometimes they ask someone can make when they can't to picking. You make if you say, you know what, if I'm able to carry my own picking, I born my own picking, I could be do and not ask anybody. Because the one they can make we be, they make we feel so little, like say we insignificant, like you know, all we to do now for just put trouble and that's it. Don't get me wrong, for man and they are kind of irresponsible. But some of we they try what must be. Say for example, I don't know in a scenario where the partner at the hospital, and they wake up in the morning, go hospital, see I'm in the hospital, go work. Work all day. Imagine that stress now will please not a cut off because of you get a woman or human do human in hospital. No, in fact, they even double because you mind the two places at the same time. Then you come, when you come on work, you can also. No, you go hospital. I can tell maybe then 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. Remember, I'm not eating nothing proper. I don't work now. So now there's a choice between sleep and make small pepper for that eat. Now, most of the time, sleep now in the win. You sleep, you wake up, go hospital again, you go through the whole cycle. But how much the hospital? Let's say I tell you, you don't go work all day. I'm going to stuck inside this room. So that understanding, when I talk about that communication, is very, very important for people to look at things from each of us perspective, not just look at from your shoes. You know, for me, I can always like incidents here because what me don't go through, I get that experience. I can just laugh and say, listen, I will call the one party, the one with me, and then get more relationship. I'll call them to one side and try for give advice. You know, for say, let them communicate, let them try for make sure say the picking, you know, is more important to them, and let them see things from each of our perspective. Let them understand, say, now a project.
Yeah.
Two people can't do the same thing at the same time. No. You know what I mean? Say because you change diapers today, miss for change diapers tomorrow. Okay, if I say okay, me change diapers tomorrow, you come or go do my job. You won't. But you know what I mean? Say as well, myself able to sit down at house and look after picking all day and cook and clean at the same time. No, everybody good at something. Now you make on a day together as a couple. On a day for complement each other. Another thing I want to ask is when it comes to say, I go back to this social worker and social, what they call them, community. Yes, now you are the green council now. Exactly. Now you are the green camp. What I want to ask is now the social services. Yes, Mr. Mohammed, I will count to you 1 minute, please. I'll see you, Anna. Give me 1 minute, please, sir. What I want to ask, how are they able to support? You know, I know CS thinking don't the health visitor thinking don't report the theater. Or how are they able to support and reassure them family here instead of the see una, because to be honest, I didn't see una was past police. Because anybody they can take me picking or they can't take me picking, I know will let you, I will hate you past police. So how will you go? What kind of support are they able to get kind of family? Mr. Sisi?
Good afternoon. Tell me, thank you for attending the show today. Obviously, you know, I can find it difficult for understand this subject. Because when it comes to social services, when the kind of perception people get, in understanding, say, the can take picking, it's like that the most negative aspect of things. People need to see the positive side of things. The positive side of things is this. If me go into my family, the way you explain so, what time is here to say, that's what happened, right? We go into the family. First of all, I'll try to establish how we have done the leave first, where everything okay, no problem, no day. Understanding? They will try to see how to replicate that same scenario we want to go day, we probably go day, we want to like to carry on. Perhaps now the quality will expensive. Obviously, we do one person will in the house, one person will mostly run around to look after the house. Understanding? We say, okay, there surely be some financial problems. We'll try to see how we do, what you could do for elevate the issues in the. We'll try to address that. Maybe for apply for a benefit augmentation. They get enough money. We don't put too much stress on the other. We'll try for it. Okay, done. If you can't say, well, okay, it is struggle for managing picking out my house. Would they refer you to some of the that say, okay, let me go out for the day centers, you know, just to get yourself out of the house. When we go there, you know, picking up play, self get time for play. Other people will help you as well. Would you do all only? Though at the same time, but for in demand, but not to say, okay, me your experience as one. But then I think, yes, I'm not going to study it. I'm just going to be first speaking. I go to training. Before we begin born, say, oh, I go to classes in a term side for no half of look after picking. When I'm born, I went through all those training. What I'm born picking now, before speaking, I feel for land first thing. I'm not confident for land. Understanding? So what in the social services then do, then can host with me, sit down with me, support me through the process, and help me how to show me how to do what you know for do, only boost me confidence. Then eventually they become my handbag. So all them things, those are positive things the way they can do. You know, the last thing a show service to do for them to take in and the last thing, they must have tried everything humanly possible. They must have tried. Not to say they don't try all things. Yes, and they go for contact family for say, okay, you still say you begin to struggle now, or brother is struggle now, not getting any way for help. We must explore everything else. And even then they not still going right for separate you and picking. Only time we don't go happen when a definite action we will take. If we not say yes, we picking then at a significant risk. Now we'll take the action there, but we don't take them. No, we don't contact family, contact friends, relatives, go do everything. If it's possible, say get somebody we trust. If you say go look after your picking, maybe they're far away from Europe now, they're Africa. We can make an application, support the application for them to get visa for come, because you need that person for support you for developing it. Because it's very important where we talk about that abundant attachment. Those are issues that we perhaps would fail for recognize. Say the beginning in development, it starts from that very tender age. Now it starts. If you still don't get some, now it take grow up in future. School, you know, the problem, socializing, you know, the problem, all this. So the most important part of all internally, now how to make sure that all stays settle first. We try for action and say, how have been doing everything fine? We try for replicate and now. For see what we do now, we will make them better. So the first few steps that we take. Now until we don't try everything, ultimately fail, we don't do everything humanly possible, ultimately fail, then we will say, yes, there's a problem here. And if the time I just want to give you just a quick scenario here. We then see where we discuss. So me, I don't know, I have no idea, nothing, but I don't witness her. Who say a saloon? I don't see a young couple what they begin host to win, where they very active, go about everything. We don't know what they're doing plan. We don't know how they go about the baby. We don't know. Just speaking. Okay, yes. We all glad say, oh, do everything. The guy begin to struggle small because obviously I'm only plan give a woman charity, you know, again because now you go for buy baby nappy, you go for buy all that thing there. So they also be the complaint say, what if you don't get them bad luck? You understand? In front of me, I witnessed where the woman take the king, he lift her right up, the bed, he go say, those spring mattress, it just dropped the bed, the picking at the bed. Now me run, I go push her. And what push her? Understand? Now instinctively now, I don't even know what I do. Perhaps it will be different now if that happened in front of me. You understand? Instinctively, I just go push her. Why do you push the picking so? He said, no, if we go to the picking, it get back up. Who knows? Maybe the answer will go through your mind. Maybe me say, no. You know, obviously, I don't know how to make a react so. You know, so then say, we unique to then say, now Africa, they happen all sides of the world. But then, for now, we don't know how to approach them then. But like now, so they're better small. If we try to go see anything now, the first question I will ask is, what's wrong with you? What's in the mind? Obviously, that try to address the person, the human problem first. If you don't address the human problem, then always say, you address the key problem. We don't jump straight to saying that people got address now. I hope I'm not taking our time. Anyway, I'll pass back to Mr. Moderator.
Magic Man.
Mr. Mohammed, unmute yourself, sir. You will ask question.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Fuller.
Yes, sir.
I want to tell Mama Rugi thank you for a very thorough presentation.
The
bottom line is that it actually changed my mindset in terms of my understanding of postnatal depression. My caution is that for some of us, especially in the rural area, where of course will not get access to community mental health team or will not get good healthcare system, and the norm is that most women they listen more to the tribal head rather than having to seek Western intervention. What is the advice we will give to the women indeed? Because certainly I don't see incident of malaria in pregnancy or malaria after giving birth with a woman in experience. Then can tend to associate them with this woman, you get devil, and it starts from there.
Okay, well, thank you, Mohammed. It's very, very difficult. Not just like I don't say because of the western part, the rural area, even just Salon or full stop. You understand? Or Africa full stop. Not some parts of Salon Africa they will get services them. Other parts of Africa they will not get services them. And Salon are one. We don't know it's in a postnatal depression. Sometimes that person that malaria it can burn back and tap it because sometimes some people can get delirium, that they can get like some psychotic symptoms where they get malaria and all that stuff then they. So imagine you can born picking back. You don't know you don't go for differentiate what's the difference between waiting or happen and whether in a postnatal depression. Because people don't know the difference. The most important thing is maybe if they say a malaria the person gets, now for men that malaria differs. It's very, very important for men the physical health problem where the person gets. So if that they don't done, the person still they experience depression or anxiety or no one for only picking, then we are going to say na maybe na postnatal depression where we know, right? So the support for give it's difficult. It's difficult because yanda the waiting and go begin now the command will be a brunt of the problem. Now you go cause, now you go talk say the witch, and if you get mates, now the mates back then go take and then put up on the mates or they put up on your auntie. So it's very, very difficult. But the one saving grace for people in a salon or Africa, another community system where we get where all man they look after the picking. All man they look after you. So they not go cook safe, all man go cook, they can't give for like you eat. You understand? So the most important is for men the physical health first, waiting the problem where the person gets before we go, then go know if whatever else we do. And if the thing they continue, yeah, they go know for say, okay, they don't mend this, all thing done. But yeah, they go just continue. Now more man no more now and juju man and medicine and this that. But sometimes they just get better, just like that. So a lot of support and advice. That's all.
Thank you very much, Sisirugi. Another thing as well, we Sisirugi been pressed on, we Mr. Abraham non pressed on as well. Mr. Jonathan pressed on that as well. Is demanding a relationship. When picking born, no member see when for the health professionals, the community or family or no member see the man was part of the process. And you, the man as well, remember you were part of the process. No to that woman no more. Whether the woman will have been discussing before we get the belay or he could horse you into a boss. You don't do the picking on day. Let we be part of the picking in life. But also for the health professionals them and we family them, not forget say the man is SSF na mortal man. In SSF they go through your stuff because as far as we own Black and African community is concerned, the man are you responsible for make sure say the family okay. Now financially, we see picking born. We get the picking in basic thing for do. Then we get this added social economic pressure now we back. We begin for a designer, we begin for look this way, we begin for and so then the woman then gets a picture that they don't don't paint, how they picking, waiting for get eye for be where they come up. Now you the man, you under extreme pressure for make sure say you provide for the family the basic, but also get for meet all the extraordinary here. So for me, my advice is to have a family, let look the man normally for say they be part of that family, or then say no they struggle. They self they struggle. We self need people for talk. Now as I say we give for who waiting here. Provision day for the man then because me one day.
Yes.
I don't want to pick I get 3 picking. Nobody, one day can ask me say, okay, first of all, boss, congratulations, you don't do well.
Well,
how far? Well,
the midwife for congratulate you, the health visitor, no, truly, the health visitor for congratulate you, me. And then they go inside. You know what think happen? When you go inside, the man can grab, he go upstairs, thinking that not just I can't find the woman and the picking. I can say can't.
But that's what they make them feel, to be honest.
Well, me go call and say can't sit down. First of all, as I go there, why don't congratulate mama and papa and mama and picking? I congratulate daddy. I ask him how they feel being a dad. You understand? Well done. Then if you grab gobs, I said no go, can't sit down. If you get any question, can't ask me now. So if for B, you understand? But a lot of times,
ask the man for let the man come on and do.
No, the mommy not for ask the man why for ask him for let he come on and do. Where all the previous year all don't come out. Waiting at the team for ask again now for let the man come on and do. You understand? If I for let the man they like ask your own question them. You understand? But we get because they work now Rochdale, but the whole of Greater Manchester, we get something they call Dad Matters. Okay, so Dad Matters not just for man them. So if you go to that service day, You go ask any question where you want. You don't, sometimes they not go for talk nothing because other man they don't experience the same thing what you experience. Sometimes you're afraid for, you're ashamed for ask question. Sometimes the question where you want for ask whether you aid, other person don't ask them, don't talk about them. So it help. So now just for men, nobody else, no woman, no then a man they run them, now for man them. Right? So that's then you self get that confidence for say question and the way you go want for ask me the head visitor because you feel for say, oh, me a man, I'm mature and now at the shame, they go feel for say me not to man.
Yes.
Go to that matters go help. Right? Then get home start, then get caring dads. Now another service land as well for man them. Right? Where when even salon self, then they say people that can make that club day. If they want all the young come demand them, they can make that small club day where they go sit down, they talk about how they feel about being a dad for the first time, or you can start.
Yeah, I understand that. I didn't sign on because roughly about a year ago, I set up a group just for black men.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about black men just from salon. We come from different parts of the Caribbean and stuff like that. I know how difficult it is for get black man for
yeah. When that's
it's very, very difficult. I not set them up just for postnatal or whatever. Just for man no more. No, we share things. They know they talk.
No.
And that's something where we get for whether that's something where they never do with hospital or what, but culturally.
Now the culture, you don't talk and don't. Now the culture, we not sabi. We not meet them. They not show we am. We not see on our people them. So people them. How we self go do am? How we self go talk about things like that one day? Even the woman herself not the same thing. You understand? You set up something also just now. Nobody they come, right? Even the services then are the same thing. The wait man them, the middle class them, the working class them. Then go their services then their activities then the one they wait down here so they need to go there. Then now even for the wait picking themselves, the wait people themselves, as long as you know they work, you know they go to that service and for we set their services then they up, their activities then they because we know so that they know they stimulate them picking them better. That they know they talk to them picking them better. They know they play with them picking them better. That working class, he sabi, he don't go online, he don't go know waiting for do. If they talk to a picking, that picking they go talk quick. If you not talk to you picking, especially this part of the world, behind closed doors, you picking up go ever talk. Now make it go to they get for referring to speech and language. Because Africa now, all man then do. By 3 months, that picking go one begin blah 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 blah. Say by 12 months, 1 year, 18 months, that picking don't begin talk. Yeah, so 2 years with the struggle with picking them for talk.
Yeah.
Because we know they talk to them. Yeah, because the brain, the more you interact with the picking, the more the brain that they join for like that picking they get in development for the first 2 years of in life. If you see you miss that one day, it hard for like you can come back to waiting I for B for like for the future.
No, you can have cocoa melon. Those are two. The parents they say, wait till the morning can press cocoa melon, please don't. Get on with it. Dr. Ture, I want to bring you come in from a GP perspective. Waiting that they help and support apart from waiting Sirugi and Mr. Asise don't say already. Is there anything else where the GP surgery can able to do for help parents then with postnatal depression and stuff like that?
Okay, thanks everyone for listening to this program. A very interesting and interactive program so far. I cover everywhere. So basically, I mean, for the GP part, you get to see the patient from where you get belly, or even where they plan for get belly. So from that 10 and day, you don't a medical history. You don't know, say this person here gets a depression or mental illness. The first start than day because somebody will get mental illness before you get pregnant. In case for postnatal depression or even puerperal psychosis, they become higher than any other person. So from there, I don't begin to work with her. The medication where they take, liaise with the midwife, and see if say the person be there on medication. That's going to be a big thing again. How for tailor that medication there, because the medication they can affect pregnancy again, and even where they if you want to decide for breastfeed, like we in community, we want for breastfeed. Again, studies and they where they show say, although they're not very conclusive, that caution there about using the medication. So through that, you get for go through the journey, you get for regularly they monitor the person, get in touch with her, get in touch with the community services. They're more community based, to be honest. With the medication side, again, you get for see I get able for liaise with and the toxicology service and see if the medication are the right one, and then try for get the family around. Sometimes if say this woman pregnant, you get for see if you're able to get in partner, or if you get any support, because normally GP can normally ask if the person gets support around. Try for establish there and in the. And so once it done born, and try for you get for see the patient, the pikin again, and the mommy, and we get mid and nurse na the surgery, we go see them. So all then support then they day, and definitely from pregnancy right through to when the pikin they come for in 6 weeks checks or all anything, and they try for see safeguarding along the line. You get for monitor, you get for observe again, because where they go, where person they go see JP, apart from which they go bring come, you get for if you go to somebody, you get for see the bonding between the mommy and the pikin, the bonding between the pikin and the the mommy and the daddy. They document there all the one in there. I notice if you notice anything where doubtful, maybe go get for call them back, talk to them and see if you go able for bring, get another, services around. And like we didn't talk about these social, so once you mention social services, that consultation they go from 10 minutes to 30 minutes. As you mentioned that word normal, because then they begin think of, say, you want to take me picking and me and so you therefore again diffuse that myth from them, say they're not there for dandy, social services are not there for dandy. So yeah, it's more of community, they know say that would be the last resort, you see. So yeah, it's all about talking to them and knowing record and involve the community. The community team get a lot for doing that.
Okay. Now, one question. Thank you very much, Dr. Tuli. One question I want to ask now is when it comes to all the services there, as we know them, like I say no more, when you look at them in black and white, they're there as a support mechanism for make sure, say, the family unit, able to cope with all them challenges where they face. But now, if, say, something go wrong and the parents not happy with how it feels, maybe they don't treat them unfairly, is there any way where the person can able to challenge their results here in a safe environment, outside for complaint?
Well, like the GP, then I get the manager, practice manager, not so. I think you go through the practice manager, then you get PALS, PALS, right? So if you go through PALS, first of all, you they make you complain to maybe, say for me, maybe you go one for me manager, you understand? So you go first to the manager, then they wait for see waiting the results of waiting happen. If they go for do an investigation, then go do an investigation. But not to me manager go ask me what happen. I go explain. If the person not happy with that explanation, they then go send them, maybe go higher, or maybe let other person do the investigation. You understand? But PALS, the PALS, Patient Advice Liaison Service, right? So that one day, then go advocate for you. Then go find out all the information. So you and that person don't have to for meet up face to face, but then go find out all the information for you. Then go to step by step how far for go before. If you're still not happy, now then go for every step when they do, then go explain to you what's in the happy. Oh, I'm not happy. Okay, then we'll go a bit higher. Okay, they're not happy. Then get for resolve them eventually. They will get for resolve them. But that resolving all day now communication with the person will make the complaint. Now for explain to them, it's what is something candor, something candor where you get for be open. We get for be open to the patient for say this is what happened, especially if now waiting safe, So you get for be open, but you not go open in front of that patient. You go talk to your manager or whoever it is for saying so. And then self go talk to that person. They say so happen, because that openness you know, for say the NHS, it's tough with openness, right? So that openness they get for day with you Kumra, then the patient or the Kumra and the member of staff for the service. I don't know, Dr. Today want for add if you want to add anything back into it.
So I think you don't explain that, you know. I mean, in the NHS we get the duty of candor.
Yeah, duty of candor. Thank you.
Open to patients, but again, people can go make complaint where sometimes I don't know whether they don't understand the information given correctly, but then some of the complaining they make really I'm not gonna say necessary, but maybe called for, because sometimes when they tell them something for help themselves, then they come up and complain for that thing they wouldn't tell them for help them. So sometimes you try for when you make a complaint within 3 days and for respond, acknowledge the complaint, and then and try for the manager will get for ask waiting at you put the complaint that verbal or written, then and see if they can solve, and that way they explain things clear. If you don't understand, just like if you're not satisfied, then the escalator and you can go up to the ombudsman if you want, and so yeah. But that complaint day where people can go make it easy for say I make complaint, but you don't know the stress where it bring to the to the healthcare professional itself, be it hospital, be it general practice, be it community services, and because the person they do in best for help, then either some ulterior motive or some ill advice you don't get from somewhere else, you go make complaint panting where the person will help you. You see how much it affects the person in own additional stress. It puts more stress to her and everything, and it affecting family, affecting your home as well. Although say a right what you do. You see,
yeah, but it must cause some amount of stress on that person.
Yeah. It depends the complaint again. And if the person say it genuinely wrong, they can come up plain and with the duty of candor say, yeah, we agree, we make wrong in this side, and the human being that they deal with, not to for say you for be 100% in everything. There's nothing in 100% in medicine. Even scan can go do something and miss something.
Okay, so thank you very much, guys. We don't run out of time. So what I can do now, I will go around with panel, Mr. Sise, Dr. Ture, Dr. Kama. We don't take a break today. Instead, we'll get a last word for say. I don't know if Mrs. Goba will be in a position for talk, then I will go to Sise Wogi. So, Mr. Sise, what's your last word for the people then, sir?
The last one is just a cool roll on talk, for complement each other. Our sister there, our woman there, we God make and go through that process is there. We need for the for support. I know say we said we go through the same experience, but if we support each other, it will be much better. It will better manage than we just left it to one person, in carry the ball will be wrong. And that communication between Jonathan raised earlier, now a very good thing. Law learn for the communicate. Law learn for the communicate. Now a very good thing. If we able to communicate between each other, I believe the problem will get resolved even before somebody else noticed them. But that lack of communication now can bring the problem. So I hope say this we don't say not one person problem, now we all problem, our whole family problem. In fact, all the session roll out itself. No session they win an individual problem, now we all problem. So I'll learn for communicate. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sise. Dr. Ture, the last one for people, sir.
Yeah, so Mifambulen, thanks for this program. This one, eye opener. We don't discuss a lot of things where we're beneficial for not only people who live in Europe or America, but people in a salon, the community service and connection. They're very great back home, but demand them for no say. Now a partnership, not just the woman alone. The man can forgive his own input greatly. For help with the domestic work and other thing, for make sure say the woman gets a good, postnatal, experience. Otherwise, you will get what they call baby blues, and it can end up going to psychosis, where, of course, they need diagnosed mental illness. They end up sometimes the person they get them before you don't know in the background. So the support from the community goes a lot. The man in support plays a lot. At least sometimes the praises, good positive words go a long way rather than just pick on the little negative and capitalize on them. Say the little thank you, appreciate your wife, appreciate your partner, appreciate, and the woman herself appreciates the effort the man they do for support her. These two little thank you, little compliment goes a long way for let the person do much more. Yes. So I think, say, if somebody gonna take anything from this, let you know, say, at least the little thank you, the little praise and compliment where the woman they give to a man, okay, and the man self give to the woman, then they go a long way for help everybody, help the whole unit, the Pekin and everybody and all the family. So I hope they will be able for listen to this program, watch on YouTube, and let we go able for benefit more from again and listen to subsequent sessions there as well. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ture. Dr. Kamara? Last word for people, sir.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Ms. Kamara, yeah, wonderful job, brilliant. For me, I don't get much to say because I think say we don't cover everything. The most important thing now, the fact say we need to look at this thing from maybe 3-4 different angles. But the difficulty we get here is if you get a young couple, we not understand within the demands of parenting, and then God forbid the person may not get some problem where a mental health problem we no one for talk about. That compounds things. As a result, the expectation. So that the one angle that the expectation from both sides can bring about a lot of problems. The expectations from the families as well can bring a lot of problems. Then they influence how we they get on with that. So if like when me try to do my best, somebody knock me efforts, and sort of disregard me efforts, clearly he sends me the other way around. And with the inexperience where I get say, I don't know, say me don't do good though. But then all of a sudden, this woman, they do this to me. I just left handle. I begin going to rage. Man begin vex. One thing lead to another. It compounds everything. So if you understand this, say in a society and they go on with this woman, then sometimes your approach could be different. And therefore, it then, like how Dr. Tokam, it then gives you a sort of a position of strength where you go for handle this thing better. And then the woman will feel a lot more, if you like, sort of loved and appreciated and recognized. And then you find you on demand, you task a lot easier for actually get things going. So it's a situation where you need for look at, say, not to just one, the man or the woman, the family itself get a role for play, because the demands are such that if you know for deliver, you're in trouble. So we need to get this thing as a unit. Now make it fine for let we know exactly how this thing happen. And for me, the other angle is let we not afraid for talk. This taboo thing where we get now with society, they unbog a lot of things. Because we need for talk. If we not talk, we bottle this thing down. Well, nobody know nothing they go on, and all man they say, lay belena ground, you know one you on the other. That is where the problem lies. So it is important for that we all actually gel together. Now make you see the people that they survive because they get support groups, then get areas like you say, dad matters, mom matters, all the things that are important. So if you enjoy this show, if I learn send the word to people, them make them tell you how they want for let we carry on with this thing. Because we need for be guided down now. But we know say una not suffer in silence, and we there for Epuna, and I make Wεll Bɔdi Bεttεh past Gentri. We all know that, so we need for work together for get this thing going. Thank you very much, Ms. Kamara, and thank you very much for the people that we attend. God bless we all.
Thank you very much, Uncle Doc. I make I say what I grew up, I will be like you. Mr. Jonathan, normally at the round of 10 is, but yeah, I'll give you a few seconds because we give it all one at a time. Yes, sir. As you no?
I just want to say thank you to Doctor.
Okay.
I just want to say thank you to the last speaker.
Oh, I've been saying maybe you answer something. Yes, Sisirugi, last word for people, please. Yes, we hear you.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I just want to say thank you for people and for when they attend. And just like what they say, some topic then they way like when we talk about physical health, a lot of people know about physical health, but then when we talk about like mental health, like postnatal depression, like salons such as Puelat or heart not sweet, you know, so then now they go resonate with a lot of people and for say, oh, maybe now because they're low in mood or whatever. Postnatal depression is very, very serious. It affects picking, they affect the Kumra and the picking that relationship, especially in a year, or even in Africa. Now, because we don't know how for pick things out, for say this maybe na postnatal depression or not. But yeah, so we see and seriously, it really, really affects picking them. It really affects the Kumra. So it's fine for like we know, waiting for look out for how for support people them. And what would they come then session here? So maybe we all don't born with picking and don't, but we picking and go for big for like them say born them picking them. But if you don't remember for serious we don't talk about this thing here. So where you see any signs or symptoms, you go able for use that experience we don't get for like you support na person day. So I just want to say thank you to everybody.
Thank you very much as well. Thank you very much for a brilliant session. I just want to acknowledge the Sierra Leone Organization of Greater Manchester, the chairman, Mr. Joseph Kaloko. I don't know if it is in a state for talk, but it is now missed. If you want to say hi, then put your video on. If not, we'll close for today. Mr. Kaloko? All right. Okay, my family, thank you for una way attend today. And like way Dr. Kamara said, yeah, we will get a lot more attendees. Now the number they go down.
Are they do something, Jemo?
No problem. I will come to you back later. Okay, thank you, sir. We don't know if that because of the lockdown where they don't lift up, or maybe not because of the fast month, or because the sun don't come out. We don't know what happen where the number don't they go down. Now, yes, the recording can be on YouTube. We have people in the go there and watch the recording. But something it be nice for let people attend the live session where they didn't able to ask questions. On YouTube, they able to ask questions there. Now, yeah, you give ask questions. The question where they ask not to you normally the benefit, they benefit other people them as well. So they are pass the word around, let people then come back on board. If I feel say we need for change anything, we don't share, we email and we contact number, tell we how una feel say we for do the show. And also we look for open a WhatsApp group. If you want to be part of the group, just text that number I've been shared before, and we go add you onto the group. So till we meet again in fortnight, on our thank you, on our look after on ourselves, on our members say, Wεll Bɔdi Bεttεh as Gentri. So we have to look after ourselves.
You know, while we tell them,